There we go. Hello, everybody. This is Eddie Key Innovations. We're attending our fourth quarter cybersecurity event, and I've got some very exciting people here and some very exciting things that I'd like to talk to. We're in San Antonio, and as everybody knows, times have changed. Cyber attacks are way up. We've got to do whatever we can to protect your data, your company, your revenue, your families, and your friends. At this point, I would like to introduce my team. There we go. So who are we? Key Innovations. So see, this is what happens when you run live from a convention and don't actually use your studio. There we go.
Conference rooms.
Our team is myself. Tom Schmidt is our account manager. Diane Miller is our solution architect. And Cody Bear is our senior cybersecurity engineer. At this point, I would like to go live and introduce transition live to this. Well, we're not exactly getting a camera. As we're doing it, we'll talk and we can talk and go for it. I'm going to let him introduce himself. He's from one of our strategic partners in cybersecurity plan.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is Rob, Chief Product Officer at Citricom, and really looking forward to chatting with you all today.
And I've got another one of our partners. Camera feed. Why is it? Todd, who's from Chicago, he works in the same markets as we do, working with customers, working with him. Todd, as we're going through all of this, yeah, I know. Technology, and we're on Facebook Live, so let's see here.
I'm streaming over there too.
Are you? As
Your logo is wonderful.
I know that. So we're just going to we're just going to do the logo and transition to it. Anyways, in our market, we get lots of ransomware, small companies that actually think that they can work through it themselves, and then they get repeated ransomware. Seen anything like that in Chicago? We're a small market. You're a large. See these type of things?
We do, even out in the suburbs. Small to mid-sized companies getting compromised every day. In fact, it's every 39 seconds. So it's a pretty scary proposition. That's why all of us team up together. You know, while Eddie and I might work in similar technologies and work in similar business, we're absolutely not competition. The competition for us is the criminals. And so that's why we pal up, work together, and collaborate a lot so that we can stay one step ahead of the criminals, at least for our clients.
And so what are we doing? What do you do that's different than us in your market? Protect your customers. Or what do you think you're doing differently to protect your customers?
Differently than you specifically?
Or just differently than... No, what would you necessarily be doing differently in a Chicago market? You're a bigger market. Do you have a bigger threat level, or is it the same?
I believe it's the same across the board. Everyone is absolutely a target. Doesn't matter how large or small you are. The big thing is what I really like to see, and this is again across the board, is that there are so many great tools now that allow us to level the playing field so that the small players can compete the same level of protections that the larger companies have, such as Citricom.
And that's the thing. We have to, in order to protect you, we have to partner with strategic partners. We're using a company here to give us security, that makes your network safe. It gives you a background. It even gives you some safe and secure communication. Got live feed now. So there we go. We don't. Anyways, I'm gonna hand it over to you. Let's talk to it. It's been, hopefully we get a video to record off. Maybe we'll have Matt later.
No, I think I have a face in radio anyway, so I think it's okay.
This is good. That's
Todd, I totally agree with you. And I think it's like this. I think you have the smaller end of the market who never were able to build out a good security foundation and a program because it's expensive. And then you have these legacy large enterprises who were built on legacy technology and have a hard time adapting to the modern threat landscape because they're so big, right? So this is what we see a lot today. And I have a background in privacy as well. There's a lot of this data that's available on these businesses today that are becoming commodity and used to get to the organizations. You're seeing a lot of that Gen AI being used to target attacks. So it's more important now as that becomes commoditized to have a solution that gives you least privilege access to all of your resources, not just a network as this monolithic concept. It's got to be all resources, all assets, and all identities. I think that's really what the big paradigm shift has to be. It's not a new concept, but it's becoming more acute and way more critical today than I would say it used to. And not at a linear pace, right? We've seen an exponential increase lately.
Right, absolutely.
I'm sure you're seeing this as well, right?
100%. Really happy because we do have some small customers.
Yeah.
One or two, we may have a customer of 40.
Yeah.
How is your solution applicable to this 20, one or two customer, and how can we scale it to the 40 or other? Because we're using essentially the same solution, but in our mind, it covers them all. But the one or two customer look at it as we're bringing this great big expensive thing and that's out from corporate America. How,
Totally understanding. So whether you have 2 assets or you have 2,000 assets, all of those assets are going to roam, they're going to move, they're going to be identified, or they're going to be headless, right? Whether the IoT devices and headless devices. You have to treat all of these assets as though they're one governance fabric for you. So if it's a 2-asset environment, maybe it's a network, it's a printer, it's an endpoint computer, you have to treat all of them as the same risk level to your organization. And you have to ask yourself, can I, at any given point in time, provide conditional access? Can I see, is this secure right now? Should it have access? Should it not? And that's really what CentricComm is going to do for you. It's going to give you always on, always connected asset for headless or identified assets, regardless of where they roam. And I think that's the consolidated force multiplier. That's the leverage you're going to get, especially as an MSP. You're trying to do more with, you have specialties in your team. They're very good at what they do, but you've got to be able to provide that to a one-to-many relationship. So can I consolidate these security tools, firewall, secure web gateway, zero trust network access, and advanced threat protection under one governance framework? Can I do it? If I can, I'm going to be able to do something for you that protects your company. So that's where we scale from 2, network, not network, endpoint, not endpoint, or up to 2,000 assets.
so you're sitting here, we're looking like we're bringing in enterprise and small business.
Sure.
So, and this is what I try to explain to different people is we are essentially an enterprise IT department working for a small business.
That's right.
And your tools enable us to actually work in that manner.
And I think that's a great way to look at it, right? So we're trying, if you think about the surface area of the attack, small to mid-sized business is actually the majority, just the majority of the surface area globally. So we have to bring these enterprise toolkits and skills down. You have the soft skills, you have the cybersecurity skills. We're bringing a toolkit to allow you to leverage those skill sets for that small business, give them an outside set of protection that the enterprise have historically had access to. Now you have access to it with your skill set plus our tool set and platform.
I know one of these questions is going to get asked of me sometimes
Sure.
is, all right, you're working with all these tools, but we want you only to work with a major corporate name brand. We've never heard of CentricComm.
Right.
And we're always telling our customers, we've made the best decision based on our knowledge set. Work with you. How do you respond to that whenever you get these questions?
Look, it's
And you know who I'm, and you know who I'm.
look, it's a great name. And I actually come from the enterprise SaaS space. So I know a lot of these brands in the cybersecurity space. Truth is, we've been around for more than a decade. What we try to do is partner only with MSPs because you have the relationship with the customer. We're here to give you the tools you need. We're not a new company. We've been around for more than a decade, building our discipline, building our skill set, protecting these organizations. So I really try to show some of that background, some of that technical capabilities and the history. building for the channel and helping you protect your customers. Exactly.
Thank you.
No, it was great to chat with you guys.
Of course, you do also have another side of the house
We do.
besides just your security. You have phones.
We do. I think, which is great because we like to think that we're like the critical infrastructure for a lot of your business, and phones just happens to be. Being around for 10 years, Unified Communication was where we started a long time ago. But it's a staple of our business. And even today, Unified Communications, mobile communications, unified messaging, unified workflows for those times is critical to any business. We almost take it for granted, but it's a critical lifeblood of any business today.
Correct. This is what I've also tried to explain to my team members
Yes.
and even to my customers. That phone doesn't work. That phone doesn't
That's
ring.
right.
I don't
right.
care.
That's
It
right.
don't work. That damn phone don't work.
That's right.
That's and it's no different now than it was back in
And
1990.
it's no different. Emails don't show up, internet doesn't work, or your
Right.
phones don't work. You're equally angry, right?
Right. So my next question is though, we got all these guys trying to exploit information out of it.
Yes.
We've got the phones, we've got the. What's the one thing to protect that we're using, that you use to help protect your stuff from being exploited? To always give us.
As a provider.
Yes.
I love that question. I actually think being in the unified comm business has given us a unique perspective because that is a critical business application. We're applying the same enterprise level accreditation. We're SOC 2 Type 2 certified. We have a rigorous internal compliance program and least privilege access for our engineers and internal staff members. And we're doing the same threat intelligence, threat detection we're doing on the SASE side with our other infrastructure. We're applying those principles. When I say we're critical infrastructure, that's what we mean. We think of it that way. We treat that phone business like a critical infrastructure, right? Like your water, like your electricity. We really view it that way. And that was how we protect.
Thank you. I'm gonna pop back down to Todd's and nobody got to see him here.
It's all right.
And we're actually, like I said before, he's from the Chicago market, we're from the Canton Ohio market, Football Hall of Fame market. You know, we've got many different vendors here we work with. We've got many different partners, and they're always looking at us to give them thought leadership and where we're going. We just heard what's going on in 2025, how heavy compliance is going to be between now and the end of next year. This compliance not only hits businesses that we think of like hospitals and HIPAA, it's hitting the law firms. It's hitting the car dealers. It's hitting your financial planner.
Anybody that takes a credit card.
It's hitting accountants, attorneys, financial planners, bookkeepers, tax. One of the things that we've been dealing with, and it was just announced, was the IRS requires a written information security plan for our accountants. But they added one thing to it that is now putting everybody into a, I guess it's just for lack of a better word, that's my dad's name, putting them into this situation of thinking, I've now got to have MFA on my desktop. And how am I going to handle this?
1074.
You gotta look at it, what you need for your security. We're here to help. We're a corporate level IT department. Todd's a corporate level IT department in Chicago. We're looking at providing the support you need, you, your customers, and again, your friends. Hashtag call us now. Reach out to us through LinkedIn. And for those of out on Facebook land and straight links, reach out to us through the join now or communication or on our link. Again, thank you all for joining me and have a wonderful day. And thank you again for your time on
No,
it.
thanks you guys. You guys are doing the hard work out there every day, and I really appreciate you letting me be a part of it. I appreciate it.
And thank you for everybody for putting up with trying to do something real. We're tech experts, and guess what? We have trouble with tech too.
Sure.
Thank you and have a wonderful day. So